Good morning, dear friends. I'd like to give the floor to Ms. Nataliya Bystra, Speaker of the Ukraine's Emergency Service. Good morning. Donetsk and Lugansk Oblast, in line with the regime of emergency situation set by the government, regional commissions on environmental safety works all day round, and they work on liquidation of the results of emergency situation. Due to coordinated actions of local authorities, rangers from state emergency service, communal services, and overhaul brigades and teams, the works on renovation and restoration of the ruined infrastructure to take place continuously. As of today, the work on reconstruction of residential sector, heating infrastructure, water supply infrastructure, and gas supply infrastructure has been carried out. As of today, more than 6,874 objects are restored. Nevertheless, in this region, more than 100,000 people remain without proper accommodation, water supplies, gas supplies, and electricity supply. The preliminary calculations show that the total amount of the damages in this oblast amounts to some 3 billion hryvnia. During the military activities, more than 1,280 electricity supply lines were ruined. In Slavyanska power plant, reconstruction crews have restored an energy block, and it has started its normal operations. In the occupied, in partially occupied territories, there are such cities as Donetsk, Debaltsevo, Vologirsk, Gorlivka, 2 settlements in Mariinsky Rayon, 10 settlements in Yasinovatsky, 2 settlements in Talmanevsky, and 2 in Novozansky Rayon, which remain without electricity supplies. In Ukrainian territory, Mariinka, Avdiivka, and 7 settlements in Artemevsky district remain without electricity. In general, some 20,000 residents of Donetsk Oblast remain without electricity. The reconstruction crews continuously repair gas supplies pipelines. In Donetsk Oblast, some 13,000 in 6,000 and private houses, and in 170 multi-storied buildings remain, and 5 enterprises remain without gas supplies. Some 900,000 people in Donetsk Oblast remain without water supplies. At the same time, building crews continue to restore windows in Mariupol. In Lugansk Oblast, upon information from Lugansk Oblast administration, some 1,570 residential houses were ruined, and the total amount of damage constitutes 1.6 billion hryvnia. In result of combat operations, 353 gas supply pipelines were broken, and without gas supplies remain 1,423 people and households and 8 enterprises. Some 207 damages of gas pipelines were restored. This night, due to highly professional actions and unite work of the State Emergency Service in Lugansk Oblast, we managed to prevent a huge damage from fire in Lugansk power plant. Yesterday at 10 p.m. Two transformator units in Lugansk power plant were burnt, and immediately, having arrived 2 minutes later, the firefighters have found that the fire was strong and called for additional support. The electricity supply in Lugansk Oblast was stopped except Svatevsky Rayon, and the situation was extremely complicated. Special state for fire extinguishing was organized, and coordination was led by Colonel Ivan Barzila from Lugansk Oblast Emergency Service, and due to his highly professional actions, the fire was liquidated within 2 hours, and unfortunately, all these operations were carried out under constant risk of shelling from the militants' positions, and nevertheless, firefighters continued to work highly professionally and in highly coordinated way. Because there was a huge threat that fire would cover the entire power plant and will destroy it. As of now, the electricity supply is fully restored in Severodonetsk city and almost in the entire Lugansk Oblast, despite Popasnyansky Rayon. We expect to have full electricity supply in this oblast by 11 a.m. today. The preliminary reason for this fire will be clarified when those transformators which caused the fire will become chilled. The work of and operations of pyrotechnical units in Donetsk and Lugansk Oblast, pyrotechnic units of the emergency service continue to work. Thus, during the last day, they have examined more than 1.5 hectares of this territory and discovered 4 explosives. In Semenivka, in Slavyansky district, they revealed 2 mortar mines of 120 millimeters. The mortar mines were also discovered near Slavyansk and Dmitrivka. In Lugansk Oblast, pyrotechnic units examined 3 hectares of territory and discovered 11 explosives. Thus, near Kamyshne, they discovered 2 artillery shells, grenades, and mines. One of the most urgent issues is to supply local population along the delineation line and under terrorists with humanitarian aid. The people need need food, potable water, warm clothes, medicines, and construction materials to restore their houses. The emergency service yesterday supplied potable water to Avdiivka and to Svято-Mykolaivsky church in this town. Yesterday in Avdiivka, Donetsk administration provided 1.5 tons of vegetables, and also humanitarian aid from the International Red Cross was delivered to Novogorodivka and Mironivka settlements. Thank you.